He's got his hair in there.
Venice was wonderful, and we actually had a day without any performance in Venice, so we were energized. We were the students got a good night's sleep, I think, and we boarded the bus and pulled out of Venice and had a wonderful cross the countryside kind of ride, because the countryside of Italy changes a lot between Venice and Florence. You begin to see more hills and more valleys, and we even climbed some fairly steep grades and went to the tops of some mountains. We could see snow at the top of some of the adjacent mountains as we were riding along. One thing that's kind of unique to the road between Venice and Florence are these wonderful tunnels that are cut right through the mountains. So occasionally you'll be watching this beautiful vista out the side of the bus, and you'll disappear into this tunnel, and then out the other side another vista totally unrelated will appear. Beautiful, beautiful ride, and the closer we got to Florence, the prettier it got. And in Florence, you can't, much like Venice, you can't actually access the downtown area with a bus. So that before even entering Florence, we had to pull into the police area and get special permission so that we could get within 4 or 5 blocks of our hotel, after which we had to deboard and drag our luggage through these cobblestone streets to the hotel. We arrive in Florence to find that once again we've been given great accommodations. The accommodations actually are literally right across the street from the Duomo. We walk out our hotel door and we can see the Duomo, which is really the largest basilica in Florence. We got to Florence, kind of hurried to get to Florence so that we'd capture some of the day, and very fortunate that we did, because we actually went to the gallery where Michelangelo's David is, and which is a spectacular piece of sculpture to see in person. You don't realize how large it is till you actually see it in person, no matter how many times you've seen it in the books. And so we waited in line, we saw the David, and as we're leaving that gallery, the Pope in fact was chosen. And our tour guide, Gianpaolo, has been following, as all the Italians have been, whether it's white smoke or black smoke. Almost every few hours we're getting reports on this. So we leave the gallery and find out that the Pope has been chosen, and in fact all of the bells start chiming. But most importantly, the bells, these huge bells that are in the Duomo bell tower, are ringing and ringing and ringing. What a magnificent moment, if you will, to be in Italy at this historic time when a Pope is chosen. Yeah, we left the hotel early in the morning, and the students were barely awake. We'd had our little continental breakfast, and they were all gathered in front of the Duomo to meet our tour guide. Actually, we had one tour guide that day, I think. And I showed up and immediately blew my pitch pipe and said, let's sing. Of course, no one wanted to sing at that particular moment, but I had an ulterior motive because before our tour guide arrived, I wanted the chorus to be singing, so if she heard us, she might suggest that we go in and sing in the Duomo, which we weren't scheduled to do, and we need special permission to do that. It worked like a charm. She showed up and we were singing away, and she said, "Oh, you're wonderful," and immediately left to get permission to get us into the Duomo to sing. There were literally thousands of people going through this place, so there's a kind of roar of people walking through the Duomo to see this magnificent dome. And but we were allowed to come in where there's a chapel on one side where they pray, and we were able to come in that special door and line up out of the masses and actually sing in this place. So it was a very wonderful opportunity to sing almost right under the dome and fairly near the altar. We were received very well by the crowds of people that could see us that were just coming in to see this magnificent basilica. That you can actually climb up this huge Duomo or dome and see vistas all around Florence and Tuscany Valley that kind of encircles Florence. Beautiful, beautiful.
This is the greatest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. Better than my bar mitzvah.
Doug, we are. Someday this will all be yours?
Yeah. Yeah, probably. Most of it.
Mr. Gentile, what do you have to say for
It's
yourself?
just an amazing view. It's crazy.
Lovely. It's lovely.
Worth the walk.
Church at Santa Croce, actually, when we when I chose to actually sing at Santa Croce, it was because my wife and I had approached the front of the church, which is this beautiful white and green marble facade. We never actually got to go in that entrance, but that was very impressive to me the first time I was in Italy, because on the right-hand side as you walk in this basilica is Michelangelo's tomb, and on the left side is Galileo's. Well, when we were scheduled to sing at Santa Croce, but there was a huge rainstorm and in fact thunderstorm. So everything was very dark, and we actually went in the side of Santa Croce, which made it almost cavernous. It's an enormous basilica, and the light was very different. The whole experience was different than the first time I had been there. But it was magnificent in a different way. It was dark and very medieval. And
my name is Peter Thompson. This is the Lyrics Choir from Long Meadow, Massachusetts. We are on a four city tour of Italy, which we've been planning for 4 years. We performed at San Marco, at the Vivaldi Church, and now we're at this wonderful church. Tomorrow night we'll be in Cortona, and Friday night we're at St. Ignatius in Rome. This is a wonderful choir, and it's a wonderful opportunity for us to be here performing some of the music that the great masters put together for these various places. So thank you very much for coming and sharing the opportunity with us.
actually, in the men's chorus performance, something wonderful happened in Venice, and that was that they got together under the direction of John Hannafin, aside from any instructions from me, and did some rehearsing in the lobby. So when I saw John rehearsing the group, I decided, and he had done so much to make them better, I decided, well, it was his group from there on out. So for the rest of the tour, John proceeded to conduct the boys, the men's group, in the Adoramos Day. So this was a wonderful opportunity for John to conduct at Santa Croce. And while we were singing, there was actually thunder at appropriate moments in some of the pieces. In particular, the men's chorus actually were singing a piece called Adoramos Te. And when they got to the word for Lord, there was an enormous clap of thunder, which just rang out through basilica. Something I don't think any of us will ever forget. In Florence, Florence kind of became the summering place for many of the wealthy Italians. The Medici family obviously became very, very powerful and ran Florence for a good many years. So we visited what they call the Pitti Palace, or the Medici's summer home, and beautiful grounds. And we walked, they call them the Boboli Gardens. So we walked to the Boboli Gardens, and as we walked to the Boboli Gardens, the wind and the rain started blowing our umbrellas literally inside out. We gathered kind of cold and wet on the entranceway to the Boboli Gardens, wondering if this was, going to be really quite a disaster. In fact, just the opposite happened. The rain went away, and the sun came out, providing these beautiful kind of foggy, wet vistas of the Tuscan landscape, where you could actually see from the gardens. You could see this medieval castle. You could see out over Florence, and you could see all the domes and bell towers and basilicas. It was really wonderful, and it got gradually nicer the longer we were at the gardens.
here to see the Venus de Milo. I hear she's quite a looker. She is?
I thought you were here to see the David. He's quite a looker.
Oh my God. Is she in the Louvre?
You're out of luck.
Oh my God. I came all this way and I'm in the wrong town.
You went left when you should have gone right, you know.